This week's news from the tubes on F5 Live Refreshing Technology is proudly powered by Malwarebytes. Whether you use a PC, a Mac, or a mobile device, Malwarebytes Premium is the company's strongest protection ever. It fights threats that traditional antivirus software can't stop, plus it actively blocks threats like worms, rogues, dialers, trojans, spyware, and a whole lot more. It allows you to use your computer and mobile devices with confidence and peace of mind. To learn more and to get a special price, you can go to f5live.tv/malwarebytes. Well, let's continue down the AI train that is tonight's show. There's a new social network out there that is taking a bizarre twist into the space. For a lot of people, social networking is all about posting and then getting reactions, likes, comments, shares from friends, family, and followers. And this social network has taken that up a notch. Rather than being connected with your friends, family, and followers, you are connected with nobody. Instead, what you will get is interaction from bots. They're embracing what Elon Musk famously fought against in his original bid for Twitter, and that is bots. Over the last couple of years, since that time, bots on social media have changed. They've gone from nonsense spam post to nonsense AI posts. May or may not be better. And so this social network, you can post and you will get likes, comments from users, possibly thousands of users, so that you can get your dopamine hit. But none of them are real. You are actually in a vacuum. You will have a curated feed of posts, none of which are real. Will all be coming from the same, group of AI posters. And so you become your own personal bizarro world echo chamber. The response has been interesting. So far, the number of reviews on the App Store, both iOS and macOS, have been limited. Many of them positive. People claiming that they have experienced a great version of self-introspection. Okay. An interesting way to get there, I suppose. The problem with looking at reviews in the app stores, however, is that it generally has to come from people who want to review the app. Everybody else is taken to Twitter to post about the obvious hell that this appears to be. And I'll tell you, personally, if you wanted to torture me for eternity, this seems like the way to get there. What do you think, Abram?
Why is it an app? Why is it an app and not on the web?
A fair question.
Or
and one
if
that I
it
don't
were
have
on
an
the
answer
web,
for.
or if it were on the web, would that mean that you would then have to see other people's posts, and therefore it wouldn't exactly be?
Mm-mm.
But still, they can make it a web tool, right?
And you still have to sign in because it's
So
curated to
when I
you.
so
So
when
I
I
don't know.
read about this, it made me think really a lot about solipsism.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the philosophical concept of solipsism?
Yes.
For anyone in our audience who's not, it's the belief that we can only know that our own mind exists. So I can only see this on behalf of myself, but it is possible that you're all figments of my imagination,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, so solipsism. So if you think
Or we
about
could,
it,
or
if
we could
you
all be figments of the imagination of a butterfly, and none of us are real.
Well, not if you have a consciousness, not if you're able to think that. Um, but we could all be NPCs and someone, I mean, each one of us who thinks, I think, therefore I am. So, okay, since I think, I know they exist. But anyway, the the point is, if you believe that you're the only person alive, then I suppose that bots answering you is about the same as humans. Uh, but
Fair enough.
this this is in effect the this is in effect solipsism in app form. The commenters only exist to comment on you. They only exist for uh, your use, right? No,
Mm-hmm.
others don't see it, and they don't
It's
exist. They don't. They don't
it's like
think.
a it's like a bigger version of the idea of that you're the hero of your own story. You're the main character and not the one in a musical that starts singing when somebody else is trying to make a life decision.
Well, I haven't tried this, so I can't say whether I'd be the whether you're the hero or whether you're the one getting trolled by. I mean, if it's a realistic depiction, they probably have lots of nasty things to say about whatever you said on social. But I mean, it also just points out. I mean, what folks should realize, of course, about anything that's AI is that it doesn't think. It has no thoughts. It has no opinion. No matter how much it may seem like it does. Like, we've had conversations with chatbots where, remember, there was the guy who the chatbot tried, Bing Chat tried to get him to leave his wife or something,
Uh huh.
like all that stuff. They're
And
not thinking.
the multiple personalities of the Bing chatbot that were starting to threaten the one
Right,
journalist.
right. Like, that is all really weird and creepy. On the other hand, one could argue, if you want to be a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, that kind of negative publicity is fantastic for the people who are pushing AI, because it's like, wait, it seems really human, you know, to have that kind of behavior. But in reality, these AI doesn't think.
Right.
The minute that it's the minute that you're not prompting it, it's not thinking of you. It's not processing something for
Right.
you if it's not being prompted to do so. It's not sitting there like a person might be like, oh man, I love that guy, I hate that guy. It's not sitting
Right.
there.
It doesn't
It's not
it
sitting
doesn't
there.
it doesn't sporadically think about you during the day the way you and I might.
Right, exactly. So it doesn't think. Out of prompt is out of mind, right?
Right. It's not
So
having a conversation with somebody else and goes, "Hey, you know who would like this? Abram."
yes, yeah, exactly, not happening. So anyway, that's it seems very sad. That's my overall comment on social AI. Seems very sad.
Yeah. It seems similar, and I don't know if we ever talked about this, but Kirk and I talked about it on GNC Weekly a couple years ago. It's like an AI girlfriend. It was like a sexting app but you were sexting a computer.
Sorry, I
I don't remember what it was called, but it was wickedly creepy. I As I tend to do, I did a big weird deep dive. I took a dozen different phones and installed it and was having
Ah,
different conversations with it to see what kind of extremes I could get it to go to, going in different directions. But it was horrifying, and I read some articles. One posted written by somebody that I know who was extolling the virtues of it, and I'm like, see this right here, this is the death of our society. And then then this seems to have taken that concept and moved it up, because now you're chatting with a whole sea of nonsense. And I mean, it seems dystopian. It seems like the kind of thing that Orwell couldn't have possibly foreseen.
I mean, I think the thing that's really, I mean, when I see all these things, I think about what's valuable in real life, right?
Sure.
What's valuable in real life is when other consciousnesses place value on you, right? So, like, one thing that always bugs
Mm-hmm.
me is that people want the robotic pets, right? They want a robot dog, or robot cat or
Yeah.
whatever. But just as with these bots, the cat, the robot cat doesn't love you. Like, it doesn't
Right.
think about you. If you, it's just reacting. It's only there because you want to play with it.
Right.
Now, your actual friends, your actual family, your assets, like, there's a lot of value in them because they're making a choice, right? They're
Right.
making a choice to spend time with you. They're making a choice to, to value you,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Your dog
They don't
thinks about
have
you when
to.
you're gone. They literally miss you with your absence.
Yeah. Your dog doesn't have to like you. I mean,
Right.
might be a real problem if it doesn't, but it doesn't have to, right?
Right.
It doesn't have to. It doesn't have, and the trade-off for all of that is that sometimes real people and real animals don't do what you want. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they they relationships are messy,
Mm-hmm.
but that is the trade-off for having other people, for not living in not living in a dream and
Right.
living in reality, unless my imagination is really good and invents all kinds of people with differing personalities, which is possible.
It's
But
possible.
anyway, um, you know, so so that's the trade-off, and the trade-off here is just get someone to. I don't even know. Do they flatter you all the time, or does it also occasionally disagree with you to be realistic?
I'm not gonna lie. There's a deep dive coming on this, because there's no way there isn't. I will be messing with this over the next couple weeks, even though I hate it. But like you and I always say, it's the business of interesting, not good. This is not good. Uh, is my guess. But I will be able to give way more information in the future.
Yeah.
I've got it installed upstairs in the office already. I just haven't interacted with it yet. I don't
Ha,
want to, because
interesting to find out.
I definitely feel like something's gonna like reach out of the phone and grab me or something. I just like I have this really negative feeling. But that might be the hellish association that I have, that I've had a demon or something coming out of the phone. We'll deal with that when we deal with that. Um, but I don't know. We'll know a little bit more about it. It hasn't been out long enough, and the reviews are not detailed enough. I was looking on both the Mac and on the iOS store, and the reviews were few and far between, very limited.
Yeah.
On Mac OS, there's only one. Just like to put into perspective, just how few the reviews there are. There's only one on Mac OS, so hopefully there's no like invite system or something that I'm going to need to get into this thing. But I'm going to go down this rabbit hole and see what happens. Who knows? But like to tie it back in with our earlier conversation, right, about the amount of power and water that are used. Three of these to generate 100 words with OpenAI, right? Just for water usage. 3 bottles of water for 100 words. And we're talking about possibly thousands of interactions. That's a lot of power consumption. That's a lot of water consumption for what is essentially nonsense. It takes your idea of we're using AI for nonsense to a whole nother level. So I don't know. It's all very strange. I don't really want to go into this dystopian nightmare, but I will for you, so you don't have to. There's an old tagline from the show from years ago. I will go so you don't have to. And I will keep everybody informed on my probably horrible journey into social AI. Hello, YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of F5 Live Refreshing Technology. If you did, please subscribe to the channel down below, and of course hit the notification bell, because we know that subscriptions don't mean much on YouTube anymore. If you've got topics that you'd like us to talk about in the future, please comment them down below. And if you'd like to not follow us on YouTube, there's lots of ways that you can follow along with our content by going to plughitslive.com/subscribe. There you'll see all of our shows and all of the ways that you can watch, listen, and follow along.